Okay, for today's video, we're going to go through some of the required equipment you're going to need to carry on your boat so that you can legally and safely operate your boat. I'm using the checklist for the state of Utah. That's where I live. I do most of my boating. So I'm using their checklist. This applies there. If you live elsewhere or boat elsewhere, just check the local laws and listing. It's on their website. But this is a good overall list. Things you're going to want to have. Even if your state doesn't require some of these things, it's going to be good to have these, because it's going to keep you safe, help you get prepared for anything that comes up on the water. I'm going to go through some of the required equipment you're going to need on board the boat before you get out there on the lake, the reservoir. So first thing, you need to have fire extinguisher. Make sure it's good, not expired. It's full. It's got the pin still in so it doesn't accidentally go off. Make sure you have that in a handy location. Don't bury it so that you're not able to find it. In case there's an emergency, you need to have handy access to it. Okay, so that's one. You also need some kind of air horn, some kind of sound producing device. I would also classify, we have a few whistles here that we keep in our bailing device that you might want to consider. So air horn, these are handy if you got to signal someone, something, and then also you got some whistles to kind of signal as well. You also need a bailing device. That's what this yellow thing is. It's a bailing device. They call it a bailing device because see how it can sit flat. It's got this flat lip on here. So if you're bailing out the boat, you can scoop water out of the boat and pour it overboard if needed. This particular one's made by Atwood. It's got an O-ring on it. It screws tight so you can keep some waterproof stuff in there. So I usually keep this, like this air horn, some whistles, some emergency stuff, some emergency matches and things like that. Just kind of an emergency kit there. That's the bailing device. Also, you're going to need life jackets for everyone on board. So this particular boat is a 20-foot boat. It's rated for 11 people. So if I'm going to have 11 people on, I need to have 11 life vests. We've got an assortment here. Kid sizes. So if you have kids on there, make sure you have vests that can fit kids. That's important so that they're comfortable and safe. Make sure those are available and ready and in good order. You also need a Type 4 throwable device as well. This is just something you can keep. Like we just keep this behind the driver's seat here. Also, you can use it as a seat cushion too. You're driving, you need to sit up a little higher. That's an option there. And then we have you need spare propulsion. This is only required for 21 feet and over. This is a 20-foot boat, but it never hurts to have this. This is just an old wooden oar that we just keep on board. It stuffs easily in the back compartment under the seats, but have this just in case you need to move the boat and the motor's not working. Another item you need, keep this in your glove box. I keep this in a kind of a waterproof sleeve. But keep your registration and your proof of liability insurance in your glove box of your boat so you can show that when requested. Boats that are 21 feet, you need to make sure that the capacity plate is being displayed. This is a Mastercraft X2. It holds 11 people or 48 pounds. That needs to be displayed. You also need to make sure your over here. You also need to make sure that our navigation lights are working. So these are the red and green lights that are on the side of the boat or on the nose of the boat. Also, our anchor light is here as well. We need to make sure that's working. Adequate ventilation is also a requirement, so that means you need to have blower to be able to blow out any gas fumes out of the bilge. And then over on this side, we want to even make sure that our horn's working. So those are some of the mechanical requirements that you're going to need. In the engine compartment, it is required to have an approved flame arrestor. This is just a K&N filter, so that's an approved filter or flame arrestor to protect against sparks of backfire. Another requirement is that you have your hull ID number displayed. So the hull ID is just on the back of the boat generally. This is like embossed or kind of stamped into the hull. So you kind of have your hull ID number on the back, kind of like your boat VIN number basically. So that just needs to be displayed and readable in case the authorities need to verify the boat. Okay, one of the requirements, you want to make sure that you have your registration numbers on the side of the boat, both sides, and that you have your registration tag, the month it expires. You want to make sure that's up to date, that's current. and then it's displayed on both sides of the boat. Okay, so hopefully that list was helpful for you to actually see the items in person, get an idea of what you need to have to legally and safely operate your boat. Stay tuned for the next video. I'm going to have a video of all of the other items you're going to want to have in your boat to make boating more enjoyable, safer, etc. So these are going to be things that are not required by law, but they're a good idea to have on board in case emergencies, malfunctions, repairs, whatever it might be, come up. So stay tuned for that. Please subscribe, like, leave a positive comment. Thanks a lot.